A2, brute, is a Latin phrase meaning, and you, Brutus, or you, too, Brutus, purportedly as the last words of the Roman dictator Julius Caesar to his friend Marcus Brutus at the moment of his assassination. The quotation is widely used in English-speaking world to signify the utmost unexpected betrayal by a person, such as a friend. The fame of the quotation is entirely due to its occurrence in William Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, as Caesar utters these words as he is being stabbed to death, having recognized his friend and protege Brutus among the assassins. However, there is no evidence that Caesar actually said these words. Another common translation for the phrase is "you too, Brutus." Literally, the Latin phrase translates to "and you, Brutus." The name Brutus, a second declension masculine noun, appears in the phrase in the vocative case, and so the us ending of the nominative case is replaced by e. Context. On March 15, 44 BC, Caesar was attacked by a group of senators, including Marcus Junius Brutus, Caesar's friend and protege. Caesar initially resisted his attackers, but when he saw Brutus, he supposedly spoke those words and resigned himself to his fate. Caesar's last words are not known with certainty and are a contested subject among historians. The phrase A2, brute, maintains its familiarity from William Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, where it actually forms the first half of a macaronic line. A2, brute. Then fall, Caesar. Shakespeare in turn was making use of a phrase already in common use in his time. It appears, for example, in Richard Edis's Latin play Caesar Interfectus of 1582 and the True Tragedy of Richard, a Duke of York and C of 1595, the earliest printed version of Henry VI, Part 3. The phrase follows in the tradition of the Roman historian Suetonius, who reports that others have claimed Caesar's last words were the Greek phrase kappa alpha sigma tau epsilon kappa nu omicron nu, transliterated as kai su teknon. The phrase means "you too, child," or "you too, young man," but has commonly been interpreted as meaning "you too, my child," and taken as an indication that Brutus was Caesar's illegitimate son. There is no reliable evidence that Caesar ever spoke the words. Suetonius himself claims Caesar said nothing as he died, and that others only reported that Caesar said that phrase after recognizing Brutus. Plutarch also reports that Caesar said nothing and merely pulled his toga over his head when he saw Brutus among the conspirators. Interpretation. It has been argued that the phrase can, if Caesar said it, be interpreted as a curse or threat. One theory states Caesar adapted the words of a Greek sentence which to the Romans had long since become proverbial. The complete phrase is said to have been, "You too, my son, will have a taste of power," of which Caesar only needed to invoke the opening words to foreshadow Brutus' own violent death in response to his assassination. In a similar vein, Caesar's words have been interpreted to mean, "your turn next," and "to hell with you too," in some other languages. For example, Italian. The best-known version of Caesar's last words is a more literal Latin translation of the Greek phrase reported and dismissed by Suetonius, "Tu quoque mi fili." This version is reported, for example, in Charles-François Loman's De Viris Illustribus, an 18th-century summary of Roman history, which was long used as a standard text by Latin students. Pronunciation. In classical Latin, all letters are pronounced when spoken, leading to the phrase being pronounced T2, brut, as noted above. The phrase is often heard mispronounced with the T in A being treated as silent, as it sometimes is in Romance languages. In traditional English pronunciation of Latin, it is pronounced T2 bruti.